Cuts lives. Okay. Right. Hello. I've gone live. Have I gone live? Okay. It's just I can't go live to Twitter because they require a premium subscription in order to broadcast live. So that's okay. I'm broadcasting live to YouTube. Hello, YouTube. I miss Twitter. It used to be a good pro-democracy place to advertise some Nazi right-wing trolls, nevertheless. So today I'm just very briefly going to talk about how my new idea for combating fascism is to not just condemn the people who have succumbed to fascist logic and decided, or fascist presentations of what are the threats to our societies, to our families, to our nations, respectively. I will denounce Elon Musk as someone who purposefully misrepresents threats in order to enrich himself. I will denounce the ringleaders, Donald Trump, etc., people who, like Adolf Hitler did, focus on certain easily vilified minority groups who people already have pre-existing prejudices against for whatever reasons, and even if those reasons are irrational. And they'll take instances of people committing crimes from those vilified, stigmatized groups, and then through repetition, cause people to have an elevated perception of risk and threat associated with migrants from those groups, or even just people from those demographics who may have lived here for generations upon generations. And when I say here, I mean in the United States, where I currently reside. And that's unfortunate because it can be used to gain power and then to embark on expansionist policy that involves wars, conquest of other nations, and ultimately the death of millions of people. Now, this is an article up here on screen saying Adolf Hitler also published a list a list of crimes committed by groups he didn't like. And that article, as I said, published in 2017 by the Washington Post, by a then news editor for that paper. I don't know if they'd publish it now, but the point remains the same, to draw a parallel. Now, in 2017, the article quoted someone saying, well, it's you can see why people might be tempted to draw a parallel between Trump and Hitler, but Hitler carried out an expansionist war against other nations, resulting in the death of millions. So therefore, they thought the comparison was pointless. I would like to highlight that the point of the comparison in 2017 would have been to prevent such wars and to prevent such deaths. We haven't had a war of conquest yet from Donald Trump. We have had willful mismanagement of a pandemic in order to foster the contrarian belief that public health officials, doctors, researchers, etc., were purposefully conspiring in order to transfer wealth from the working class to powerful elites, even though Donald Trump is a powerful elite, even though he is the one who authorized loans to businesses that were extremely wealthy with inadequate checks and balances for the provision of such loans. What were they called? PPPs. And definitely facilitated the transfer of wealth to oligarchs, to the mega wealthy. And including himself, he definitely used COVID in order to sustain his position in office, enabling him to abuse the power of his office to transfer a lot of taxpayer money to himself through charging extortionate rates to the American taxpayer so that his Secret Service agents could ride around behind him on a golf course in golf buggies that were the use of which were being charged to the public at extortionate rates, rooms at extortionate rates, rooms $400 a night, taxpayer paid for rooms. Let's see if there's a comment. Yes, Bob's here. Hello, Bob. And Bob notes that Trump is now going forward with the expansionist talk about acquiring Greenland from Denmark, taking back the Panama Canal, even though it's sovereign, and also incorporating Canada into the United States, even though, again, that's a sovereign nation. So you can see how the parallels with Hitler become more evident to people over time. The rhetoric was always quite evident to me, or the direction that the rhetoric was heading in was evident to me for a long time, but I'm not in everybody's same circumstances. I'm the granddaughter of Holocaust survivors, so I'm more prepared to contend with that idea that a man prepared to vilify and demonize people from minority groups for personal gain is somebody who is as unprincipled and murderous as Hitler. Yes, he's talking about attacking Mexican cartels. And of course, General Milley said that Trump was interested in just launching missiles. Actually, no, it was his former defense secretary, Mark Esper, who said Trump wanted to launch missiles into Mexico, just launch them across the border. So regardless of what people, citizens of Mexico, businesses are in the way, he just wants to launch missiles from the US into Mexico and say, haha, got you, cartels. A show of force, completely... Oh, I've got to go. But yes, completely disrespectful of human life. And Mark Milley, Trump's former Joint Chief of Staff, said Trump wanted to launch missiles into Iran once he'd lost the election in 2020 in order to strengthen his purported claim to the throne, i.e. The Oval Office, because if America had started a war with Iran, then Trump would have claimed that war necessitated his remaining in office, especially under the contentious circumstances of him repeatedly lying to the American public that the election had been stolen from him. So I hope you enjoyed this brief broadcast. I must go. It's nice to see you, Bob. Recommend it to your friends, and maybe I'll have to pay Elon money again so I can subscribe to Twitter and be able to broadcast live on Twitter. I don't know. But yes, as Bob notes, the US has invaded a lot of countries a lot of times, but that's something for conversation another day. Thank you, Bob. Goodbye. Take care, everybody, and try and stay safe from propaganda and disinformation. I'll explain Club Sandwich next broadcast. Bye-bye. Bye, Bob.